How to never give up on being an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about this in the video. It is so critical that you don't give up. As Sharon Lechter said in her Napoleon Hill book, 3 feet from gold. A lot of you are actually 1 foot from gold, but you don't have a team and you don't have a system. So many of you in your companies, you're going to be in that statistic of 90% of companies fail. The truth is you're not 3 feet from gold, as Napoleon Hill and Sharon Lechter said in that book. You're maybe 1 foot, but you don't have the right team and you don't have the right systems. We're going to talk about working smarter, not harder. We're going to talk about what you really need to outsource, like really. And we're going to talk about the systems of that. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you one of the most critical hints that Bob Proctor taught me when I was a really young entrepreneur, and it has saved me for decades. So let's begin. Work smarter, not harder. Well, first of all, as an entrepreneur, what does that mean, work smarter, not harder? See, we're conditioned to be employees, go to work from 8 to 5 and have all these commutes and do all these things. When you're transitioned out of employment or even employee training, right? Because my son's in college right now, he's being trained to be an employee in finance and accounting to work for somebody, not be his own boss. That's not a training you get. You get that kind of training out here on YouTube, being part of my channel, which right now, just subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be your university of entrepreneurialism every day, 5 days a week, 10 to 15 minutes a day. So as you think about being an entrepreneur, the reason that first 6 figures is the hardest money you'll ever make is because years, K through 12, and then on through university and even an MBA, a massive bad attitude, we're going to teach you a massive bank account, doesn't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. And the skills aren't really transferable. So when you think about being an entrepreneur, here's what it takes to run a company. You need marketing, you need sales, you need accounting, you need operations, fulfillment, you need technology, you need your team. How do you do all these things? Well, you get side by side and you get an entrepreneurial mentor. Number one thing. I got my first mentor at 17 years old. And I still have 3 of them today, different ones. I've traded up through the years, but I've spent well into 7 figures on my education of being an 8-figure entrepreneur. It's really important. Don't be a statistic and fail. Get the right training. How do you lead teams? How do you lead systems? So team and systems, right? Team and systems, team and systems. So you think, well, what does that mean, Loral? So first of all, think about your day. What are you really good at? See, you're only good really at about 3 to 5 things. And when you start really running the company, you only do those things and you hire everything else. One of the first activities that I bring to my clients, even if they're 7-figure producers, is I want them to document their day. I want them to hour block their day. What are the things they're doing? And by the way, I just want to lay this in and say you have an integrated life. As an entrepreneur, you don't have a personal life and a professional life, you have a life. So integrate them. That means your kids are coming along, your family's coming along, you're doing this for generational wealth. Why would you get up and do all this and build all this and then just let it go? So you're going to have an exit with a lot of cash. You're going to bring on partners and sell it out, continue to have cash flow. Lots of different strategies to exit. We'll talk about that on a different video. Right now, I just don't want you to fail, and I don't want you to give up. You got to be really strong with your mentor and coach. Know what you want. The first thing, again, we're going to dissect your day. We're going to build a revenue-producing day. You can never have procrastination in your day. Procrastination is one of 2 things. You either don't want to do it or you don't know how to do it. There's no such thing as a procrastination as an entrepreneur. You just don't. It's not even a concept because things have to get done. One of the challenges that I know a lot of my clients have is the way you listen. Right? The way you listen is when I say you have to do these things. When you come to one of my workshops, I'm going to give you a whole checklist of things that have to get done. And the way you're interpreting them, because you're employee trained, is that you have to do all of them. No, your team organization has to get them done. You only have to do the things that you are really good at. Like I'm good at about 3 things, really good at them. And I just design my day around those 3 things because I know they're revenue producing and they pace the organization forward. So what are you really good at? So before I go into the big lesson that Bob Proctor taught me, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I'd like you to be with me 5 days a week. I want 10 to 15 minutes of your time. Make sure you hit the notification button so the minute the video comes out in the morning, you're right there with us. If you're super excited about learning financial literacy and really learning how to be a solid entrepreneur, also subscribe to my podcast, right? The link will be below. So here's what Bob Proctor taught me early on. Is fail fast. And here's what that means. So to fail fast, that means like things are going to happen in your life. Is that you want the time that it's going to impact you, that impact to be really short. Like if you can take it down to a few minutes and just emotionally recover, Great. But some of you drag stuff on. We're in 2021 doing this recording. I have people from 2010 that really got hit, that still haven't begun again. And their story's still the old thing. I went bankrupt, I went foreclosure. So what? Now what? So what happened to you? Now what do you want? As an entrepreneur, you got to fail fast. Make that impact to your life really short and don't let it cut too deep. Because the deeper it cuts, the longer therapy you got to have. And I'm not a therapist. It's going to happen in about 5 minutes for me and you, which is so what now? What do you want? And a technique that I want you to start today, for those of you that this is true for, start documenting what you want in your life. Not what you don't want, what you want. And very specifically go into that. And my Yes Energy book is probably the best book that could help you really dig through that. And then, pop The Secret back on. It's on Netflix right now. And just immerse yourself in this what do I want conversation, and that you're powerful, you're amazing, and you deserve as an entrepreneur to be 7 figures. I can promise you this, anything less than 6 figures, you should probably keep a job. Because it's a lot to run a company. And so you want to soar past that 6 figures as fast as you can so you have the money to hire the team and bring on the systems that we're talking about. So the way I want to end this with you is actually to send you to about an hour webinar. So I'd like an extra hour of your time. And what I want you to do is watch a webinar, 7 Steps to Become a Millionaire. So as you're making that list of things you want, and you say you want to be a millionaire, include this hour. You don't have to listen to it right now, but make sure you put it somewhere you can get back to it really quick. And just go through the 7 steps that it takes to be a millionaire. And then decide. If that's something you want, I'd love to take you there. 3 to 5 years is my promise right now because of the volatility of this market. You can do it in a year. I have people doing it 18 months, 24 months. It's up to you, but you have to make the commitment to you that you're not only going to fail, you're not going to let yourself down. Will you have some struggles along the journey? Guaranteed. I will guarantee you that. But you don't fall down, you don't quit, and you don't fail. So join me, click on the link below, listen to the webinar. It will bring up an application at the end where you can, 30 seconds, quickly fill it out. You'll have a conversation with my senior team. Love to work with you, love to make you a millionaire. See you tomorrow.